Freestar Rangers resident terminal jockey. That's me. Hey there, Deputy. How goes the hunt for the first? Good, good. If you ask me, I don't think they stand a chance. You're like an Ashta creeping silently through the high grass, waiting for your chance to pounce, and then boom! Down they'll go. So, did you get any more of those encrypted slates? Because, let me tell you, I am so close. Oh, come to Daddy, you sweet little piece of technology. You go stalk your prey and leave the rest to me, Deputy.
Come in, Deputy. Take a seat.
This won't take long.
While you've been in the field, we've had more reports about farmers being threatened and attacked. Unfortunately, some didn't survive. It's worse. It's tragic. How's your investigation proceeding? That's assuming he finds something useful. Otherwise, you'll be no better off than when you started.
How can you be so critical when you have done nothing to help?
This is Freestar Ranger business. I'll thank you to stay out of it.
Let's move on. I asked the other Rangers to share their opinions of you, and there are some things I want to go over. We'll start with Ranger Callow in Hopetown. She was grateful for your timely arrival, and impressed you had the guts to take on those pirates. Nia says you were respectful with Ron Hope and didn't push too hard. That shows me you were listening when I said to go easy on him. Duty has to come before personal feelings. I'm glad you understand that.
Let's continue. We've got a detailed report from Ranger Price about your recent visit to Neon. He said you met an informant who asked for your help, but you talked him out of it. Use you? The way I hear it, he was fearing for his life and looking for help. You don't get to ignore your duty when it's inconvenient. Of course, I can understand that. Even so, you deserve some recognition for your compassion and generosity. Thank you.
You got results, and that's what matters most. Price was impressed by that. Said you really took the initiative.
Ranger McMillan praised what she called your uncommon bravery and dedication. She said you took on the Red Mile so you could get a meeting with Marco Graziani. Sounds like you're starting to understand what it means to be a Freestar Ranger.
So what happened with Marco? I doubt he gave you that slate out of the kindness of his heart. I suppose underestimating you was his last mistake. Damn. I thought if anyone could see reason, it'd be Marco. What about Maya Cruz? Her loyalty to Hull and the 1st Cavalry was stronger than most. I guess I'd want the same thing if I were in her place.
Excuse me, Marshal?
Not now, Alex. We're in a meeting here.
I know, but this is important. I've done it. I've cracked the encryption on the slates. Now, I don't know exactly where the First are headquartered, but there are references to a place called the Factory.
The Factory? That was our nickname for the main facility where the mechs were manufactured.
Under the terms of the peace treaty, they shut all the mech factories down right after the war.
But they didn't destroy them. At least not all of them. Never saw it myself, but I know it's a large facility mostly underground. If the First are occupying it, they'll probably have set up defensive positions throughout the complex. Then you'd better go prepared for a fight. These are experienced mercenaries we're talking about. The Factory was on Arcturus 2. Make sure you come back alive, Deputy.
If the Marshal's right, you could encounter serious resistance. Be prepared.
And the
Never should mess with the first. That's the best you've got. Killing Rangers pays extra. Weapons hot. I get a bonus till I kill you. Bad bonus. Killing Rangers pays extra. Target in my sights.
I will never grow weary of seeing places like this.
man of action. I've got no use for lies. So when I tell you that you're being manipulated, you know I'm telling the truth. You think the Council of Governors really cares about anything but themselves? They're greedy and corrupt. You're a tool in the hands of the unworthy, just like I once was.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
I led men and women to their deaths. I'll carry the stain of that dishonor to my grave.
Contact! Contact!
I believe we are not alone.
Take your best shot.
The 1st Cavalry was the greatest fighting force the Freestar Collective has ever seen. At the Battle of Mira, the 1st Cavalry was destroyed. Why? Because the generals got scared and asked for a truce. I've got no sympathy for cowards, or for the people who put them in power. I've also got no sympathy for those who do their bidding. Listening to you.
We can pause for a moment. If you One might imagine the Freestar Collective was still producing this.
You come... Justice? Well, what about justice for my soldiers? Minutes from winning the battle and the war, when the ceasefire order came down. Now there's a debt of honor, and the people who betrayed us, the people of the Freestar Collective, are going to pay.
This is a testament to how devastating the war was. How determined both sides were to claim victory.
I can't believe it. You just took on some of the best mercenaries in the Freestar Collective and cut right through them. If we'd have had more like you in the war, we could have planted our flag in New Atlantis. Not the way it should have. Of course, I can't expect you to understand what we sacrificed, what we lost. You don't know what it's like to look around and see the faces of warriors who trusted you to lead them as they die screaming. I watched brave men and women torn limb from limb by monsters. I saw mech pilots cooked alive in their cockpits as their machines burned. Those deaths didn't have to be meaningless, but spineless leaders gave up on us even when victory was within our grasp.
Do not assume you know what others have or have not experienced. And none of it gives you the right to take innocent lives.
You don't know me, so don't preach to me about what I do or don't have the right to do. You really want to know? Because you might not like the answer. Last chance, Deputy. You can walk away right now and remain blissfully ignorant, thinking you fight for a noble cause. But if you still want the truth, I'll shatter that illusion for you right now. We'll see
you about that. Not long after I started the first, I was contacted by a man who said he represented someone wealthy and influential. I refused to work for a shadow client, so he agreed to set up a meeting. Imagine my surprise when Ron Hope showed up. He offered me a lucrative contract to take possession of certain farms throughout Freestar space. To keep the Rangers off the scent, Hope wanted to hit a lot of places quickly and finish whatever he was doing before word spread. We needed another ship to meet his timetable, so he gave us the intel necessary to steal one from his factory. It also let him play the victim and keep suspicion to a minimum. All I know is that after we cleared the place out, Hope was sending in some kind of machinery. Our job was to make sure nobody saw the operation. The credits were good, but yeah, getting some payback was the real reward. Don't bother.
Be ready for another fight.
I'm gonna make this easy for you, Deputy. I'm gonna die the way I lived. Weapon in hand, no compromise, no fear. But first, here, take this. Use it to cut out the weakness rotting at the heart of the Freestar Collective. When the next war comes, and it will come, the Collective needs to be strong. Now my unit's waiting for me, and I'm gonna report for duty one last time. Goodbye, Deputy.
Best not to or free soon. Can we speak for a moment?
Look at you! I can hardly believe it.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
I have never liked Hope Tech ships. Though I suppose that is hardly.
That's very generous, Mr. Hope.
It's well earned, Burkett. We set some ambitious quotas. You met every one of them.
Well, I won't pretend it was easy, but everyone pulled together and we got it done.
I'll let you share the good news whenever and however you like.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Enjoy your visit to...
Good to see you again. Well, I've just received a report from the Marshal about your progress. He said you had a promising lead on the mercenaries who stole my ship. I trust you're here with good news. And what's that supposed to mean, exactly? Oh, that's one hell of an accusation, Deputy. That two-faced bastard kept the slate. Oh, I suppose this is his revenge against the Council of Governors for what happened during the war. I'm impressed, Deputy. It's clear you have a bright future ahead of you.
What's going on? What is this about, Mr. Hope?
Nothing that concerns you, Burkett. In fact, why don't you make yourself scarce?
I think I'd like to hear what the deputy has to say.
I can see you're upset. Allow me to explain. And you'll see that there were very good reasons for what I had to do. The truth is, we've been falling behind the competition. Significantly so. We needed solutions. A few years ago, I began to diversify. We started to research chemicals, fuel, those sort of things. We developed an experimental fertilizer. And it failed utterly. It wiped out entire crops. I was prepared to write the whole thing off when we made a discovery that changed everything. Turns out, our fertilizer was transforming the soil, bolstering its mineral content tenfold. We donated the fertilizer to select homesteads and let the farmers do the work. And when the time was right, we cleared the farm and brought in machinery to harvest the mineral-rich soil. The reduction in labor and materials costs sent my profits soaring.
You sit on the Council of Governors. You betrayed the very people you are supposed to represent.
I wish there'd been another way. But I had to play the hand I was dealt. I never intended for anyone to be hurt. I told Hull to buy the land, not take it by force. Unfortunately, farmers can be stubborn folk. And I couldn't risk any witnesses.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How could you do something so awful to innocent people, to families?
Not another word out of you, Birgit. I can take your job. And more. We'll discuss this later. In any case, I suppose the gig is up. I give you my word that I'll call off the operation and return the land to its rightful owners. You're right, yeah. Those families deserve to be compensated for the inconvenience. Well, perhaps a discount on their next purchase from HopeTech.
They might not be so keen to purchase a ship built with the blood of their compatriots.
With that resolved, let's talk about you. As a member of the Council of Governors, I'm authorized to award you a substantial bonus. And of course, we'll both agree to forget about my little cost-cutting endeavor. Guards! Protect me!
Hey, be careful not to point that thing at me. At the time, I wish to speak to you.
He tried to have you killed. I don't understand. Mr. Hope always seemed like such a good person. But everything he said about the farmers and hiring those mercenaries, was so awful. He never seemed that complicated to me. He always looked out for us, for his employees. No, of course not. But there was more to him than that. He had a genuinely good side, a caring side. And now he's... You killed him. That sounds so bloodthirsty. I can't imagine how that could feel good. I guess I just can't relate. What happens to us now? That would be Elana. Elana Nwankwo. She seems pretty capable. Maybe we'll be okay after all. I guess we'll have to figure things out. Find a path forward.
Can we speak for a moment?
Hiya.
You're back. Good to see you back safe, Deputy. What's the word on the mech factory? Were the mercenaries hiding out there? Well, don't get too used to killing. For a ranger, that's always a last resort. Did you find out why the first was taking over farms? Wait a damn minute. You're saying Ron Hope was behind this whole thing?
Are you really that surprised? Hope's always had a reputation as a man who'd do anything to succeed.
He's on the damn council, Emma.
So he can make laws favorable to his business interests. Sure, he's known to look after his people, but do you really think he gives a damn about some farmers on Montara Luna?
Did Hope explain his motives at all? That has a familiar ring to it.
I recall hearing about some Hope Tech initiative to help farmers. At the time, I just figured it was a PR stunt. Seems a little more sinister now.
Please, tell me you've got some evidence to back up these extraordinary claims. All right, let's see what you've got. Interesting. Yeah, this is pretty damning. Especially this last bit about destroying the slate. And you confronted Hope about this? Damn. This is going to send shockwaves throughout the Freestar Collective. If the people can't trust their leaders, anarchy could follow.
Have a little faith, Daniel. We're not the United Colonies. One bad apple won't spoil the whole damn barrel.
Easy for you to say. You ain't the marshal.
Not yet, but you ain't gonna live forever, old man.
While we've got you here, there's one last piece of business to take care of. Emma, would you please?
With pleasure, Marshal. When you first joined us, I told you that you'd undergo an evaluation process. There's one thing left to do. A simple question. Do you feel ready to wear the badge of a full-fledged Freestar Ranger? Good. Duty and honor are the backbone of the Freestar Rangers. Marshal, I approve the deputy for advancement to the rank of Ranger.
Thank you, Ranger Wilcox. In your time serving as a deputy, you've shown exceptional courage, fearless tenacity, and a high regard for the safety of our citizens. By the authority granted to me by the Council of Governors, I hereby promote you to the rank of Ranger. Here's your badge. Wear it with pride. But don't forget the solemn responsibility it represents. I know you will, Ranger. Let's hear it for our new Ranger.
Great job, Ranger!
Oh, nothing for now. apologize.